What's up, everyone? James Ang here, Kingdom Business Coach. Excited. We are ending a 5-part series of what I call the Miraculous Breakthrough Formula. I'm reading out of this book that I just launched, and it's talking about a biblical principle that can help you get unstuck and achieve the impossible. We did a 5-part series. This is part number 5 on the first part of this formula. So if you missed any of the previous ones, you want to catch up, go back into my YouTube, subscribe there, check the links and the captions and everything. And you can catch up there as well too, because I promise you that if you follow these principles, life can change. Life can get a lot better. So we've been talking about in the last couple of days what fasting is, why it works spiritually, why it works psychologically, why it works biologically. And today I want to end this 5-part series with what kinds of fasts are there, right? What kinds of fasts are there? In fact, if you've ever done any type of fast before, comment below what kind of fast that you've done. I'd love to know about it. I'd love to even hear your experiences there as well too. But actually, I want to open up in my book. If you're interested in grabbing this, grab the link in the bio or shoot me a message, and I'd love to be able to give it to you. But fasting is interesting. Now, biblically, I will say, the biblical fast was what you call, there's 2 types that you see in the Bible. Number 1 is what we call a dry fast. Now, a dry fast literally means it is water only, actually no water, no food. Moses, when he was getting the 10 commandments, he did a dry fast for 40 days. Now, that's impossible normally. Your body, did you know, can last at least 40 days without food, but it can only last 3 days without water. I'm glad that we're alike. Awesome to connect. So it's important that we understand that dry fast, it is one type of fast. You can go 3 days with it. Esther did a 3-day dry fast, which was able to reverse the genocide of the Jews. But typically a dry fast is not recommended because it's not healthy unless it's something that the Lord is leading you to. But I just want to let you know that is one type of fast. All right. Second type of fast is what's typically found in the Bible, which is what you call a water-only fast. And what's up, guys? We're going over what kinds of fasts are there. Okay. A water-only fast is where you only drink water. Now, in the Bible, this is the one Jesus did. Actually, it doesn't say they did a dry fast. It seems like he did a water-only fast. This is something that Paul did when he was becoming Paul, from Saul to Paul. This is the most popular type of a biblical fast because fasting technically means to abstain from food for a spiritual purpose. Now, that is one part of it. That is what I did in the 7-day breakthrough formula. And there's a lot of benefits that come from water-only fasting. However, there's other things you can consider too. Other things are water-only fast with certain supplements. So I talk about in the book certain things you can consider, things like vitamin D, things like vitamin C, omega-3, fatty acids. These types of things can be beneficial. Also, things like electrolytes could be helpful as well too, especially for an elongated fast. But there is a water-only fast with supplements. Can you drink things like water, tea, and coffee on a fast? You can if you want. But the goal is to really seek the Lord. And to seek the Lord, our goal is to be able to abstain and not be able to take things that normally we would treat as pleasurable, right? So what's the goal of fasting? The goal of fasting is to starve the body so you can feed the spirit, right? So whatever that means for you in your season of your life, that's going to be great. I felt called to do a 7-day water-only fast. I literally had nothing else, and it transformed my life, right? Right now, I'm in the middle of a fast where I'm now incorporating some electrolytes because that's what I feel like I'm being called to. I hope this is interesting, okay? From there, there's also something I'm reading on page 44 of the Miraculous Breakthrough Formula here. There is something called a Daniel fast. Now, technically, this isn't really a fast. It's more like a Daniel diet. In fact, there's a very popular book called The Daniel Plan. But the Daniel fast is what Daniel did when he was in a place where he was going through some oppression. He was going through a dire situation. And it said that he mourned and he neglected eating good food, like good tasting food, for 21 days. It's kind of like a raw food vegan diet. Maybe some, no offense to you raw food vegans out there, but it's not exactly the best tasting food all the time. Depends who you ask, right? So Daniel fast, that was a 21-day period where he basically ate a raw food vegan diet. That is very popular as well too. That's another type of fast. Another one to consider, and this is pretty popular now. In fact, let me know if you've done this before, is intermittent fasting. Intermittent fasting. Now, this deals with eating food, but it's intermittent because there's periods of time where you eat and there's periods of time where you don't eat. A popular way to do intermittent fasting, or IF, is 18 hours of not eating and 6 hours of eating, 16 hours of not eating, 8 hours of eating. Some people do a 20 hours of not eating, 4 hours of eating. Some people do one meal a day. These are all great and beneficial as well too. There's actually a lot of science, a lot of health benefits on these types of fasts. So that could be good. Another type of fast is a liquid fast. And a liquid fast is where you don't eat anything, but you do consume calories in the form of liquid shakes. You could do juice up veggie drinks. You could do juice diets, these types of things. These are powerful as well because they allow you to help you to start to say, all right, I'm removing myself from the physical sensation of chewing, and thanks to the follow, but I am going to just have liquids. Okay. And the last type that actually I did not put into my book right here is you could do something like a social media fast, a behavioral fast. You know, some people say, I'm not going to go on social media for a certain amount of time. Some people say, I'm not going to drink. I'm not going to play video games. I'm not going to do something that I consider as, actually it is here. Yeah, you can choose whatever type of fast that you want. An internet fast, a Netflix fast, right? Something that, and this is good, especially for those that are pregnant or for those that are younger or those that are not in a place health-wise to consider like an actual physical fast. But a behavioral fast can be very powerful. And basically, what's the goal of fasting? Our goal of fasting is the thing that has our attention the most. If there's anything in our life that you know that you think more about than God, you want to take that and you want to bring that to the altar, so to speak. You want to take that and you want to remove that influence on you. So I had a friend of mine that went through this Miraculous Breakthrough Formula, fasted from video games, had a 10-year-old addiction from video games. The first day after doing an actual fast, like she did a water-only fast, that 10-year-old addiction for video games is gone. And even to this day, still gone. I spoke with her today. She's like, I don't even care about video games anymore. So what's a behavior you know is not beneficial for you that you could consider to fast, right? So these are different types of fast and there's different lengths of fast. Yeah, it is super awesome. You know, super proud of her. But you want to consider a fast that's good for you. If you're healthy, I'd challenge you to consider and pray about it though, but to consider a water only fast. If you have some health issues and you have meds and things like that, you might want to consider some of the other dietary issues. But think about it, pray about it, and see what makes sense for you. This is something that you don't have to be super religious about. What's the goal of fasting? The goal of fasting is to be able to set yourself apart for the Lord and showcase the Lord that you're sacrificing something that you would consider pleasurable so that you can seek Him. Because where God is, miracles happen. And fasting, I'm telling you, is one of the least understood and applied spiritual principles, but when applied properly, are absolutely transformative for your health, your mindset, your emotions, and your spiritual life. Crazy things start to happen. Okay. Last but not least, there are also different types of lengths of fast that you can go through. All of them are great. All throughout the Bible, there was one-day fasts. In fact, every year in the Israelite history, they would have 1 year where it was commanded to fast. 1 day, it was commanded to fast. You might want to consider a 1 day fast every week. That's a pretty cool thing to do. Absolutely. Absolutely. It's incredible what happens. There's also 3-day fasts all throughout the Bible as well too. There's 7-day fasts. Samuel did this. There's a 10-day fast. In Daniel chapter 1, verse 12, they did a 10-day fast. 21-day fasts and the 40-day fast. You find that with Moses, you find that with Elijah, you find that with Jesus. And you know what's interesting is you notice that with fasting, when done for spiritual purposes, breakthroughs tend to happen. So if you're somebody that has been stuck, you're somebody that's been hoping, exactly, Jesus in the desert for 40 days, right? Moses actually, I just read through this through Deuteronomy. It seems like, I think Moses, correct me if I'm wrong, Moses fasted 40 days twice. Because the first time, remember, we got the 10 Commandments and he came down from the mountain and then he saw that the Israelites made the golden calf and he got mad about it. He broke the tablets and he went back up, did it again. But it's very evident that fasting, when dealing with the spiritual nature of ourselves, there is some huge benefits there. And if you missed it, go back to my previous days, because the main thing is when you starve your body, you feed your spirit. When you starve your body, you feed your spirit. You can hear the Lord better. You can be very clear. You can resist temptations that typically might have taken you down. Like, a lot of benefits start to come in, but it's super cool what happens if you consider to do a fast. And that's why I wrote a book on it. I did my first ever 7-day water only fast, and it transformed my life. And I wrote a book because I felt called to write it. At the end of the 7 days, I was not intending on writing this at all, but I felt God placed it on my heart. He said, write this down and share this with the world. Because right now, more than any time, and thanks so much for that compliment, more than ever, I'm sure we can all agree that the world needs transformation. The world needs breakthrough. And the best way to have a breakthrough is have God show up. So if we as a people come together and say, God, I want to search for you. I want to seek you. I want to love you with all my heart, soul, and mind. I want to put you first above everything. I want to seek the kingdom and his righteousness, and all these things will be added to you. And we do this because there's some spiritual ways that you can do it. Fasting, prayer, and Bible study. If you apply these three principles together, which I did, it transforms your life. And I put it together in a to-do manual. This has already transformed a lot of lives now. I'm excited we finally got the paperback copy in. So I wanted to go through this live series, a series that is talking about this book and the principles to show you different things. And my encouragement is, if you feel called and led to it, consider trying to implement this formula, because it absolutely changed my life in just 7 days, and it changes others as well too. But if you're interested also in picking up this book, it is on Amazon. However, it's cheaper through me, straight up. So if you're interested, the paperback is just $15. The PDF is, the ebook is $7. So if you're interested in that, message me directly, follow me, message me on any of my platforms, and I'd love to be able to get you this book. And I'd love to be able to do this together. It is absolutely transformative. So if this encouraged you, like this, share this, and also subscribe to my YouTube as well too, so you can catch this plus all my other replays. And over the next couple of weeks, I'm going to continue to dive into the details of what this is and how it could benefit you and those around you. But with that said, I hope it encouraged you. Let's continue to break through. To God be the glory, and God bless.